Okay, so tell me a little bit about Kindering and how it all got started.
I'm Hope McCarthy. I am the Cubs manager at Kindering. Um, Kindering was founded at a time when services for children with disabilities were in really short supply. Many people at the time had to choose between institutionalization or nothing, or just on their own at home. Kindering was established in 1962 by five parents of children with special needs. Over the last 6 decades, we've grown to be the largest, most comprehensive neurodevelopmental center in the Pacific Northwest. I've been at Kindering for 7 years, and we've opened two campuses while I've been here. So we have four campuses: Redmond, Renton, Bothell, and Bellevue. It's our mission to embrace children of all abilities by providing the finest education and therapies that they need. We reach over 10,000 children and families each year. We have pediatric therapies, special education, family supports, and a variety of other things. We primarily serve children from birth to 3 in our early support services. But we also serve children up to 11 years old within our kids clinic program for a select few therapies. We work with a wide range of children who are experiencing cognitive, sensory, physical disabilities, as well as children with developmental delays and complex medical needs.
hmm That was, you were leaning into my next question, which is like, what kinds of services do you provide at
Yeah,
Kindering?
so we provide a wide range of services for children and their caregivers. I think our hope is to be as wraparound as possible, to give these families as many options of support that they need. We provide developmental evaluations, therapies including physical, occupational therapy, speech, feeding, special education, infant mental health, parent education services, ABA. And our goal, like I said, is those wraparound services that support children and families who are experiencing. We also have for families who are experiencing instabilities. So we have our FIT program for families who are experiencing or have experienced homelessness. And then we also have our Cherish program that targets services for children who are experiencing the foster care system.
That's cool. So like, are there any particular stakeholders that you partner with closely that Kindering partners with?
We partner, so our primary stakeholders would be, our families and the communities with which they live in. We also partner with school districts. So a lot of our kids will leave Kindering and go to developmental preschool. We also have kids, like I said, that are over the age of 3 that are in our kids clinic program. And so we collaborate with those school districts there. We also help with that transition to the school district as well. And our primary stakeholders are, our families and our kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What impact does your organization have on communities as a whole?
I think as a whole, primarily it's in that, we see kids in their first, that first learning time of their life. And so in the first 1,000 days of life, more than 85% of brain development occurs. It's an irreplaceable time of growth. And so most kids that are in our therapies, I think it's 52% graduate and no longer need special services by the age of 3. And I think that as a community as a whole, we participate in a lot of community events, various, charity walks, various other like community functions. We tend to have booths, and just really not only letting families know that there are people out there that can help them to support them with a variety of their children's needs, but also, letting kind of helping find those kids. as well, and let parents know about other options in the community for, diagnostic evaluation and, other, we even will help families, once they leave Kindering, find private services outside of us. So finding speech, finding OT, finding ABA once they leave us and they turn 3.
Mm-hmm. Lastly, how do you create an inclusive and welcoming environment for everyone?
So Kindering does have an equity statement. It's on our website. It's I belong, eradicate systematic racial and oppressive barriers so everyone succeeds. We have adjusted our programs to meet the needs of our communities with a focus on equity. We serve a very diverse group of families. In 2021, the last time we, deep dived into our demographics, more than half of our families identified as Black, Indigenous, or people of color. We recently advocated for change within our state to change the way that we're collecting demographic information to ensure that all families, regardless of gender, race, and ability, feel welcome and included in our system, that they belong. This is a great example of our equity statement in practice. We really put an emphasis on meeting language needs. Almost 40% of our families prefer a language other than English. And we've recruited bilingual staff to specifically serve the different language needs of our families. I know I've utilized interpreters many times within my services, and it's just so nice to be able to work with families in their home language and really support that for children and families. I always think it's so cool when kids can grow up with 2 languages. And so really supporting that.
Mm,
We're also starting to work to embrace neurodiversity and a shift away from the medical model of disability and towards that social model of disability. One of my favorite things about working here is just the amount of individual growth I see my coworkers doing on a daily basis. And then that bleeding out throughout the organization. And so just seeing that constant culture of change and growth, and our employees constantly saying, hey, we can do better. And we can provide better services. We can be better to each other. We can be an example in the community. And I think it's something that, our providers really uphold and push for.
mm-hmm. That's cool.